What are your views on early education regarding science, technology, engineering, and mathematics?
Well, the STEM fields, as we know them, are fairly complex fields, and they build on a foundation of basic knowledge. This foundation has to be created early, and as a result, early education in these fields is very critical. For a lot of young, aspiring engineers or scientists, unfortunately, the game is over by the time that they reach high school because they're not well prepared. So it's very critical to have the early foundational education.
And I understand you have an extensive background in science, engineering, and education. What advice would you give to future generations hoping to break into this industry?
Well, one thing that I would tell them, in order to be successful in these fields, you have to like solving problems. It's a very rewarding career if your mentality, if what you enjoy is solving problems.
And how did you come to learn about the Chicago Pre-College Science and Engineering program? How do you plan on working with this organization?
I heard about it straight from the lion's mouth. Mr. Hill was very kind to visit me and give me the information about the program. And I think that we can both, as University of Illinois at Chicago, we can both help the program and we can benefit from the program. You know, a lot of people talk about win-win situations. That's a very comfortable thought. In reality, there are not that many win-win situations, but this is really one that we can both win by working together.
Great. And how do you think this program is helping to educate kids from underrepresented communities?
I think what I really liked about this program is that focuses on the right elements. First of all, it stresses and really underscores the fundamentals. In order to be successful in the STEM fields, you need the foundation, as we discussed. The second part that is important to be successful in this field is that you need to be persistent. And the program indeed follows the students over a number of years. It's not like parachuting in and hoping that we solve the problem in a few weeks and that's it, good luck from here. And this program does not do this. It stays with the students for a period of time. And then the third element that is very important is the involvement of the parents. And there are not that many programs that involve the parents. And I think especially for younger students, it's important for the parents to buy into the idea and support the students.
What is your opinion on the importance of diversity within the workforce?
Diversity in the workforce in every field is very important. The workforce, in order to be able to understand the general public and have an impact, an influence on society, it has to reflect society. Otherwise, you fail to understand the issues and you will not be able to influence it as much as you would like. So from this point of view, diversity, especially in a period where we have changing demographics, the country is changing. The future of the country is not going to look the way that the past of the country looked. It's extremely important for the workforce to reflect the changes in demographics.
Great. And what are the biggest challenges you are seeing in regards to STEM education?
First of all, in order to be successful in the STEM fields, it requires a lot of hard work. And it requires a lot of hard work for quite a period of time. So it needs from the student consistency, perseverance, tenacity. It is usually easy to lose focus during this period if you don't keep your eyes on the prize. What is the value proposition? Right? Why are you doing all of this hard work? And that's important to stress, but that's one element that makes it a little bit more difficult. The second part is that 50 years ago, there were a lot of young kids that they were fascinated with machines. They loved to look under the hood of the car, change their oil, and do the things that engineers were supposed to do. Not anymore. We see less and less of this. We see more, as the fields are evolving, more an emphasis on digital, electronic aspects, and we have to connect this with engineering. We have to make sure that students understand that this is modern engineering as well. And then the third part is that some of the coursework, some of the fundamentals required are not very attractive. They're not very sexy. But it's important for the students to understand that this is what is needed in order to be able to do the things that they are exciting.
Okay. And what improvements have you experienced with STEM education? What methods are working, not working?
I think that's a more general question, and I would actually take a step back because STEM education is not necessarily dissociated from education in general. We are dealing today with a new generation of learners. The millennials are very different than their parents or their grandparents. All of the stereotypes that we hear about them, technology-driven, a need for instant gratification, really a desire to use the knowledge that they get immediately, shorter attention spans. If you know people that they're in the teens or their 20s, you know that the stereotypes are true. So we need to change the way that we teach. We need to change the pedagogy in order to be able to reach them. What I tell to the faculty members here is that if you're teaching the way that you were taught, or if you're teaching even worse, the way that your parents were taught, you're not reaching this generation. So we need to adjust pedagogy to this generation by bringing more technology into the classroom, by making our segments shorter, and by connecting directly fundamental knowledge with applications.
Okay, and what is the UIC doing to help students from all backgrounds to become more exposed to STEM education?
Well, we aspire to use a similar type of programs. We have a number of programs that they are similar to the one that we are discussing today, that we are trying to reach out to K through 12 with different angles and different niches. When you're talking about health education, for example, and health sciences versus engineering education, they're slightly different. And we also participate in programs. We don't want to reinvent the wheel every time. It's okay to work with people who have very good ideas, and that's exactly what I see an opportunity with this program as well.
Okay, great. And what changes or improvements would you like to see going forward in order to improve the diversity in STEM education?
I think we need to see an improvement in K through 12 education because this is the feeder system for the universities, and we cannot have improvements in university STEM education before we see improvements in the K through 12 education. And that's where this program is very, very valuable. We need to change pedagogy, we need to change advising, and we need to change mentoring as well. Again, adjust it to the new generation. And you know, as everything else, we are living in a period of personalized components. We personalize the way that we entertain ourselves. We personalize medicine. We need to personalize education as well. One model doesn't fit all anymore, and the technology that we have developed, the analytics that we have developed, give us the opportunity to use specific programs for specific students in order to be able to reach them. So personalizing education is a key, I believe, for success.
Okay. And how can professional engineers or those working within the industry help?
I think they can play a very important role because the students will need to understand what a true engineer does. They can play a role by volunteering, by mentoring students, and it can be a two-way. They need to go to the students, but they also need to bring the students to them as well. They need to bring the students to their sites so the students understand and see firsthand what a professional career in these fields is. And in this case, I believe that they will be really excited and they will put the work that is needed in order to succeed and reach this point. It's the value proposition.
Great. Well, thank you so much.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.